Atlanta, the Braves trying to avoid the sweep. It's Game 3 to series finale, Atlanta and Cincinnati. All right, folks, thanks for joining us. Boog Sciambi alongside Joe Simpson. Been a tough couple of days. Reds pitching has really limited the Braves offense. Here today, we'll get another look at Tim Hudson, who's coming off his first start of 2009.
Tim was good the other night down in Florida. I wouldn't say he was great, but I'd certainly rate it a B+ because no one really knew what to expect in his first start since coming back from Tommy John surgery. And before that raucous crowd down in Miami, he greeted everyone. But more than anything else, he greeted the Florida Marlins with a real good split finger pitch that was good for him his entire 5 1/3. He may have run out of gas on a very hot, humid night in the 6th, but still limited them to just 2 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. I thought he was very sharp with his command, and hopefully even that much better today.
Yeah, he had a good sinker working as well. Today, he will go up against Johnny Cueto. He's got a very good arm, however, has really struggled since the All-Star break. So that's our pitching matchup here this afternoon. It'll be Tim Hudson and Johnny Cueto as the Braves go up against the Cincinnati Reds. Atlanta trying to get the bats going and hoping to avoid the sweep. We'll have the lineups in the first pitch from Turner Field coming your way next. And Joe Simpson bringing you the series finale between the Reds and the Braves. Good crowd expected. The folks continue to file in. And we give you today's Toyota starting lineups for Dusty Baker and the Cincinnati Reds. 14th in the league in runs scored. That's been a problem all year. Scott Rowland's been hot. The man in front of him, Brandon Phillips, hot as well. Votto with the big home run last night. Gomes, Rosales, Miller, and Cueto rounding out the lineup that will go up against Tim Hudson, who makes his second start of the year.
Tim Hudson's always pitched well at Turner Field, but last year he was exceptional in his home ballpark. 8-1 with a 2.57 ERA. He's 3-1 lifetime against the Cincinnati Reds with a good ERA of just over 3.5.
So Tim, the start, a win his first time out against the Marlins, and he'll face Drew Stubbs. And the first pitch of the game in for a strike. We're underway.
And the 4 keys to pitching success for Tim Hudson include his split finger pitch. Use it effectively like he did down in Florida. And like we just said, he is pitching in the friendly confines of Turner Field. Not only was he 8-1 here last year, but he's 29-17 at Turner Field since he signed with the Braves.
The wind of the 1-1. And that one sliced foul. Tim Hudson, 34 years old, native of Columbus, Georgia. We touched on it his last time out. Braves have a $12 million option for him for next season. I believe it's a $12 million option or a $1 million buyout. And so Frank Wren and company will have to make some decisions. They'll have to make that decision when the World Series concludes. Broken bat roller to short. Infante charges. Gets rid of it in a hurry as Stubbs runs well. 1 up and 1 down as Hudson gets the ground ball. Hopefully Anderson, McLaughlin, Diaz won't be busy. And Prado, Infante, Conrad, and LaRoche will. And Tim will be working with David Ross, who gets the start here this afternoon in place of Brian McCann.
Both of the runs that Tim allowed down in Florida came in the first inning. He got off to a bit of a rough start, but was able to get out of it thanks to a double play.
It really was as simple as a couple of sinkers. A couple of his fastballs just stayed up in the zone.
Had a little trouble getting the ball down in the first inning. You can expect that from a guy making his first start.
Good slider right there. 0-2 to Darnell McDonald.
This Reds team's amazing, and this turnaround they've had. They had gone 7-24. 7-24 before going on this streak of winning 11 out of 13. Nice turnaround.
And you can't predict stuff like that. I mean, when they were in the middle of going 7-24, you said to Dusty, don't worry, because 11 out of 13 is on the horizon.
Yeah. I don't think he would have bought it.
McDonald gets a piece of the curveball, stays alive, 1-2.
Good umpire behind the plate today, Big Jerry Lane. Good ball and strike, man.
Tim Hudson out behind the mound rubbing up the baseball. Tim uses the rosin bag a lot, and he will rub up the baseball quite vigorously. Bounding ball right side. Conrad. So Tim gets a couple of ground ball outs, and now he'll have to deal with Joey Votto. They'll score just getting started at Turner Field. Beautiful day.
Hudson wasn't out there yesterday, neither was Ross, but hopefully they were noticing how much Joey Votto was jumping on the first pitch. First 4 at bats. Threw him an off-speed pitch as a result.
Tim back to work.
They've got to have this guy be who he's supposed to be. He's got to be in the lineup. He missed a lot of time on the disabled list this year, but yet he's still hitting .300 with 21 homers, 67 RBIs. Was runner-up in the Rookie of the Year voting last year.
Smacks that one the other way. Anderson is there, and Hudson gets him quickly and quietly. 1, 2, 3. 12 pitches, and the Reds retire. Brought to you in part by AirTran Airways, by Sherwin-Williams, by Carrabba's Italian Grill, and by Verizon Wireless. Back here at Turner Field, bottom of the first. Braves coming up to hit in a scoreless game. Sunday Braves on Fox Sports South. Boog Sciambi, Joe Simpson, and about our Toyota starting lineups. Bobby Cox and the Braves. McLeod, Prado, and Anderson, the top 3. Adam LaRoche with the Braves has been as advertised, even more so. A good second half of the first baseman. Diaz, Conrad, and Fonte Ross, and Hudson, the rest of the lineup, going up against the right-hander Johnny Cueto.
Cueto's not a tall guy, 5'10", but he is solid. 200 pounds out of San Pedro de Macorís, Dominican Republic. Throws hard.
First pitch to McLeod is in for a strike.
His keys to success: don't fall off to the first base side and just sling it up there. And he's been working with Corky Miller, who has really begun to make him pitch. If he falls off to the first base side, his fastball will tend to rise up and away to left-handers and have a little trouble with command. He had a side session recently with Dick Pohl, who got him to back off his 95 to 97 fastball to try to get a little better command, and he's down around 91 or 92, so that's not giving up a lot in an effort to throw more strikes. There was one of those pitches falling off to the first base side.
And he's fallen behind McLeod 3-1. That one skied foul towards the seats. And it's filled up on the leadoff hitter.
Johnny Cueto through July 1st was 8-4 with an ERA of 2.69. His shoulder started bothering him. He has spent a couple of stints on the DL, but his next 8 starts after being 8-4, he went 0-6 with a 10 ERA, and obviously wasn't 100% healthy. Snapped that 6-game losing streak with a win against Pittsburgh on August 31st. 1 run in 5+ innings.
So he was pitching through some discomfort. The 3-2. Nate a little late.
But got the bat in front of the plate. Wasn't great. Nate.
And McLeod takes the walk. Cincinnati defense: Gomes, Stubbs, McDonald in the outfield. Scott Rowland, Adam Rosales, Phillips, and Votto third to first. And Cueto working with the veteran and former Brave Corky Miller. So McLouth aboard, and it'll be Martin Prado at the dish. Prado starting at third base. Chipper Jones the day off. And he's hit by a pitch.
No place to go, and it's right there and off the side of the leg. A bit of a glancing blow, but at about 93, that doesn't make it feel any better. An early opportunity for Atlanta.
Braves had that early opportunity against Bronson Arroyo in game 1 of this series. Bases loaded in the first, nobody out. And Atlanta was not able to score as McCann hit into a 5-2-3 double play. And then LaRoche flied out to end the inning. It's kind of the way it has gone for the Braves offense lately.
Certainly in this series.
Chipper in the throes of a dreadful slump, 8 for his last 66. Cueto made short work of Garrett Anderson, and there's one down.
108 strikeouts now for Cueto in 142 innings. 21 home runs allowed, but anytime you pitch in Great American Ballpark, you're going to give up a lot of homers.
So Adam LaRoche stands in. 2 on and 1 out. Braves and Reds, because the schedule gets a little quirky every year with interleague play. The Braves actually went to Cincinnati twice this year. Most years you have that one extra trip that you take.
Braves are now 3-5 for the year against Cincinnati. Jerry Lane generous with the outside corner on both Anderson and LaRoche early in his at-bat. And Cueto tried to go right back to that same spot. We talked about this last night, Boog, but their starting pitching at the beginning of the season was going to rival anyone in the Central Division, maybe better than anyone else. With Volquez, Cueto, Arroyo, and Harang, they just couldn't keep everybody healthy. And Volquez expected to be the ace of the staff, and he had to have surgery.
Yeah, Tommy John for Edson Volquez. I think like most teams, Walt Jocketty and the Reds got a lot of decisions to make. Swings through that one, a strikeout, and there's 2 away.
When you're a guy blessed with the kind of arm that Cueto has, and you learn how to pitch a little bit, and they get you to understand that you can win with your fastball at 91, 92, 93, and you still have the ability once in a while when you want to rear back and fog one upstairs at about 96. What a nice thing to be able to do.
That's a great spot for that last pitch. McLouth at second, Prado at first, and Diaz comes up empty. A rarity last night as Matt Diaz was held hitless.
Well, here's something about the Braves offense in this series. Granted, it's only 2 games plus 1 inning, but McLouth and Diaz are the only guys that have more than 1 hit in the series. And that includes Chipper and McCann, who are not playing today.
high as late 94 with that heater.
Cueto's just 23.
He's got a bright future. Whoa, up and in.
Didn't Cueto hit somebody and get into it with another team a few starts ago? It may be longer ago than I thought. But it seems to me there was I'll call it a beanball war for lack of any other description. Somebody was trying to get at him and he was going ahead calling him out. I've got a flicker of that somewhere.
Okay. Bouncer to short. Rosales goes the short way to second. And that's the inning. The Braves can't do anything after getting the first two men on. No score. Ford dealers by AT&T and by Blimpie. Back here at Turner Field, we go to the second, no score. Braves and the Reds, Sunday Braves on Fox Sports South. It'll be Phillips, then Rowland, and then Gomes against Tim Hudson, who got him 1-2-3 in the first. Big slow curve, that drops in there for a strike.
Phillips 17 for his last 32.
Hooks that one towards the corner and a foul ball. Just miss being fair and dropping in there for extra bases.
That was close. Even caught a piece of the grass down there.
Chris Puccioni on the call, and the count 0-2. On a bounce. Oh, Infante flags it down. What a play.
Are you kidding me?
Good hands.
You can't hit a ball any harder. This was a lightning bolt hit at him on a short hop. My goodness, what good hands there to take a hit away.
Omar getting to start for Yunel. Escobar is out with that sprained ankle. Probably see Yunel at some point in Houston, a sprained right ankle. And there's a strike to Scott Rowland. Kind of flexing his hand there.
Might have caught that right in the palm.
Reds made the trade for Scott Rowland. They do have him for one more year.
I think it's a good place for him. He ought to start talking to them about an extension right away. Close to his home state of Indiana and a good ballpark for him to hit in. And back in the National League.
3-1 the count. Towards the hole, diving stab. Prado gets up. Got him. Nice play. Good defense here in the second by the Braves.
My. You guys on the left side came to play today. Woo. Adam LaRoche helped out on this too. Great stop by Martin. Now watch Adam come off the bag to the ball a little bit. He might have even been off the base, but because of the way he caught the ball, it makes it look like he was still on the bag. Nicely done on both sides.
A little trickery.
A little trickery. Come and get the ball.
Johnny Gomes here. And Hudson pumps in a strike. They expected this guy to kind of be a bat off the bench, something along those lines. But with all the injuries, he's gotten to play a lot, and he's produced.
And good for him. You were talking about Barker last night being a guy who was kind of a career minor leaguer and never given much of a chance. And Gomes is one of those guys you could put in that same category in terms of where do you play him. Well, they've stuck him out in left field, some at first base, and he's done just fine.
Check swing didn't go, says Tony Randazzo. The point I was making as far as Kevin Barker, I mean, I'm not saying Barker or Gomes, you start him and give him 600 at-bats and hit him third. But for some of these teams that are offensively challenged, why not give it a go as a cost-efficient alternative? A line drive and a base hit into left field. So with 2 down, a man aboard. I mean, you can relate to the idea. I know I've discussed this with you. The idea, and I've asked you, how would your career have been different if one of the years somebody said to you, Joe, no matter what happens, you are getting 550 at-bats this year?
It would have made a huge difference. Huge difference on a daily basis to know you're going to play, no matter who's pitching.
But when those guys have gotten those at-bats in the minor leagues, they've been productive.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to oversimplify here because I know that it's not easy.
And 500 at-bats would have made me a superstar. Don't get me wrong. It just would have been a whole lot easier to go out there every day and produce knowing you're going to be in there.
Right.
Hudson was just glad that last pitch stayed in the ballpark. The way Gomes can hit him, it's a hanging curveball, and he will gladly give up a single there.
Both of the homers that we've seen from the Reds in this series have been clocked, the one by Gomes and the one by Votto.
This guy's an interesting player too. He's had a lot of height coming up through their minor league system, and mostly as a first baseman. But he's played all 4 infield spots. That's a rarity. Just ask Martin Prado. Martin isn't asked to play shortstop, but this guy first, second, third, and short. And has had a couple of good years back to back in the minor leagues for Cincinnati.
The only 2 guys that really come to mind, and I wouldn't say that they can still do it now, but for a stretch could both do that, play all 4. That almost hit him. Jeff Blum and Mark Loretta. For a span, both of those guys could play first, second, third, and short. Would you agree?
Yes, I would. I would. This guy played a lot of first base when Votto was on the DL. It's his opportunity when everybody had been talking about him in Cincinnati. He got off to a pretty good start, too. Hit a home run early. And then all of a sudden the strikeouts started mounting. 40 and 200 at bats now.
Hudson has it filled up. 2 outs, man at first. Gomes will be going. And ball 4. So first walk offered up today by Tim Hudson. And now Tim will face his former teammate Corky Miller, and I know these 2 are good buddies. Corky started the year as A.J. Pierzynski's backup with the White Sox.
Corky is a very good receiver. As we saw last year, he can also throw. Can gun down some base stealers. Doesn't hit much, but once in a while he'll run into one. He hit one a mile at Wrigley Field last year. So you got to respect that.
Gomes at second, Rosales at first. Scoreless game in inning number 2. Now, does he know that's on there? I'm not sure.
No, not based on Brian McCann's face. I would say no.
Just weird. Why would you go with that instead of gum? You think they'll just keep adding to it?
Try, yeah. It was just one wrist brace a minute ago.
Tim Hudson, first strikeout of the afternoon, and the Reds strand 2. You could be dominant the whole game, and one pitch costs you the game. If you're not mentally strong, it's going to eat you. It's getting really frustrating, especially because of how big these games are.
He pitched great.
Not to be disagreeable, but the one-out walk to Giannis affects the impact of that one pitch, you know?
And he had him 2-2. No reason to start picking with him for fear of him hitting the ball out of the ballpark.
Here's Brooks Conrad smacking that one to left center, a sinking liner. Stubbs makes the grab, one away. I mean, I know what he's saying because he was dominant.
Yeah, he
was. He was blowing him away with his fastball.
But the walk, you don't walk Paul Giannis in that situation. Your point's a good one. Brooks Conrad, in the meantime, just keeps putting the barrel of the bat on the baseball and hitting it hard. Last night had perhaps a home run taken away from him by Stubbs.
Corners even with the bases for Omar Infante. And ball one to the shortstop.
Not to lay blame on the Reds' season or the fact they went 7-24 through that real rough stretch.
Liner caught by Phillips. That was hit on the nose.
Another Adam ball. But with the addition of guys like Scott Rowland and hungry young players like McDonald, like Stubbs, like Giannis, all of a sudden they've got a bunch of guys coming to the ballpark, Boog, that want to play.
Yeah.
And certainly Scott Rowland's grinder type approach to baseball is rubbing off on some of these guys, and they're playing better ball as a result. Something that wasn't there with Tavares and Encarnacion.
Well, guys getting an opportunity, like you mentioned, to show, hey, I can do this, and doing it with an eye on next year and potential playing time. Now, there are definitely baseball people out there who believe that that's exactly why you can't trust September, because this is a team that's not playing for anything, and there's no pressure.
I don't necessarily agree with that. And the reason I don't is if they're playing non-contenders all the time, okay, there might be something to that because the other team's running out some September call-ups too.
Right.
But they've got these games with Atlanta that are huge. They're going to Colorado. Those games are huge. They're going to Chicago for the Cubs. Those games are huge. So their schedule the rest of the way is going to have some highlights in there with some tough teams. And you might be able to find out a lot about some of these young guys.
Ross down on strikes. Johnny Cueto very sharp so far. He's punched out 3. First Omar Infante and then Martin Prado, Joe.
Just great work by the two guys on back-to-back hitters. And that's the Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot, and they saved Tim Hudson last inning because after those two plays, there was a single and a walk.
So Hudson back to work. Cueto, Stubbs, McDonald, 9-1-2 in the order. Johnny Cueto hitting 103.
Sorry, Boog. Tim seems to be working real free and easy. He did in Florida. His motion looks exactly the same as it did before the injury. He's not having to do anything to compensate, and a tribute to his rehab and all the work he put in. Not afraid to throw any of his pitches.
Here's the 0-2.
Sometimes guys who throw split finger pitches who have Tommy John surgery will tell you they're a little reluctant right away to throw their split because that's a little bit hard on the arm. And not the case with Tim. It was a good pitch down in Florida.
Up the middle, and Cueto comes up with a base hit. So the pitcher leads off with a single, a rare hit for Johnny Cueto, and a man aboard for the leadoff hitter, Drew Stubbs. It's the VCast music with Rhapsody Know Your Music, getting from Verizon Wireless. What Braves player enjoys listening to Run DMC in his wireless phone? Tell you in the bottom of the third. I like it.
You a Run DMC fan?
Absolutely.
Is it you?
Very much so. It could be me. You know who I think it is? I think it's David Ross.
Really?
Well, I guess I should say I'm pretty sure David Ross likes the old school rap.
Okay.
Or maybe it's Chino Carajillo.
Could be. You don't mind if I go Chris Medlin on you, do you?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Soft liner out of the shallow right. That'll fall for a hit. And Stubbs goes the other way. The first two have reached, and there's nobody out.
Organist having some fun with Darnell McDonald by playing a little Michael McDonald music.
What was he playing?
I don't know the title. You don't know me, but I'm your brother. Taking it to the streets.
There you go.
Thank you, Chuck.
Corners are in. McDonald cuts and misses. I'm a big fan of that song.
You do a good one.
Thank you.
Good Michael McDonald.
It's like my two best impersonations are Michael McDonald doing Taking It to the Streets and Sean Connery in The Hunt for Red October. That's all I got.
And they're perfect. Nothing but strikes so far for Tim Hudson this inning. Not one has been wide of the mark.
One of the things as well with Tim, you don't have to talk to him about pace. He moves it along, picks out his sign, and he's around the zone. Up the middle, that'll get through for a base hit. Cueto around third. And McLeod doesn't bother to throw.
Why? Get the pitcher running. Take a shot. First baseman's there to cut the ball off. If you're not going to have a play, I don't get that. second mistake this inning, though, by Tim on an 0-2 count. One was to the pitcher, and now one to McDonald. Now, Cueto just rounded third when Nate got to that ball, so I don't get that.
Well, now Hudson's got to be careful. He's allowed 3 straight hits, and their most dangerous hitter is at the plate. Votto fly to left his first time up. This guy, a native of Canada. It's going to be interesting to see what happens if their #1 prospect fulfills his potential. His name is Yonder Alonso, who they drafted in the first round a couple of years ago out of the University of Miami. And he's a first baseman. And really a first baseman only. I believe he only made it as high A ball, so that would tell you he's still a bit away.
But
what do you do then?
It's a pleasant problem to have.
Yeah.
One of those you solve when you have to solve it.
Sure.
Maybe a similar situation to what the Braves had last winter with Tyler Flowers, who was moving up in a catching position. Where was he going to play? Were they going to move him to first base? So he gets involved in the deal to Chicago that brings Javi Vasquez here. That certainly helped the Braves, and good for Tyler Flowers too. I just read where he got called up by the White Sox, so congratulations to him.
Just missed. Beg your pardon. Yonder Alonso started, may have been on rehab a little bit, 6 games with the Gulf Coast League, but then he was at high A for 49 games and finished the year at double A for 27 games. And it looks like he was hurt some.
Oh,
my goodness.
Oh.
Nasty pitch with the run back inside, and Votto just kind of said, I need to swing at this.
Yeah, Joey can't get back to the dugout fast enough on this one. Hey. I mean, that ball literally was in Brian's glove. Hey. He saw it backing up and knew he was in trouble.
So Votto retired, and with 1 away, now Hudson can get out of it with a ground ball at somebody. 1-0 Reds on the McDonald RBI single. We're in the top of the 3rd. Phillips pulls off of that one. Brandon Phillips caused a little bit of a stir with some comments after he got hit on the wrist. And he said that his wrist felt like it was fractured. And then had to do some backtracking. The quotes were kind of funny. He eventually had to say, my wrist is not broken. I didn't mean to say broken. I know I didn't say broken. I said fractured. I didn't know fractured and broken were like the same thing. Runners going. Throw to third. Tag. Got him. Where are you going?
What are you thinking? He didn't even have a very big lead. Good play here by Martin on the short hop to catch it and get the glove back down. Glove has to go up on the short hop and go back down for the tag. Still got him. With your hottest hitter and biggest RBI guy at the plate.
I don't get that one. So Hudson gets some help.
Also allows him a little room here in the way he pitches Phillips if he wants. Phillips leads the National League second baseman in RBIs and stolen bases. And yes, that includes Chase Utley.
Now a 2-1. Nice, spun off of that, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a man at second. That's Darnell McDonald. Hudson delivers. And a bouncer to the right side that Conrad handles. And good job of damage control by Hudson. He gets some help from the Reds base runner. 1-0 Cincinnati. Hudson McClouthan Prado against Johnny Cueto, who is not allowed to hit. He has walked 1 and hit a batter. There's a strike and the count even. Hudson, a career 162 hitter. Good fastball at 93. Got him looking outside corner. And Cueto has struck out 4, 1 down. Welcome back to VCast Music with Rhapsody. Know your music inning from Verizon Wireless. We asked you earlier which Braves player listens to Run DMC on his wireless phone. How about the answer? Daichi Takasu. I like it.
That is tremendous. The interpreter for Kenshin Kawakami. So I guess with Kenshin in the bullpen right now, Daichi's got to go out there.
Yeah. Yeah, big Run DMC fan. They were like the first rap group that really blew up.
Braves Youth Baseball Classic were having their championships today. That was the classic presented by the National Peanut Board and played down at the Atlanta Braves Baseball Academy about 1.5 miles south of Turner Field here. 450 players from various teams participated. Got to the finals, the 5- and 6-year-old division. I love this name, the McDonough Blue Gamers against the Tennessee Thunder from Cookeville, Tennessee. 7- and 8-year-olds, the Rome Thunder against the Mount Perrin Titans. 9- and 10-year-olds, the Georgia Outlaws from Noonan. They'll play the winner of the Macon Legends and the Sharpsburg Sox, also from Noonan. 11- and 12-year-old division, the oldest group, the Dodgers from Atlanta will play the winners of the Hildebrand Eichard All-Stars from Hickory, North Carolina, and the Atlanta Rough Riders from Decatur. So congratulations to everybody. They had pool play, so they got tons of games, and they got to come to the game, all of them, and parade around the field last night. Well done.
And they got a chance to get a special visit on Saturday from one Chipper Jones.
They did indeed. They got their picture. All the teams got their picture taken with Chipper.
3-2 now with 1 out. The base is clear. That is roped but foul.
That 4-field complex just south of the stadium here was created thanks to donations from Chipper, Mike Hampton, John Smoltz, and our own Brian Jordan. All popped for $75,000 to the Metro Atlanta YMCA. And the Atlanta Braves Foundation contributed $500,000. Wow. Also the Baseball Tomorrow Fund, a huge donation, and just a great complex. So congratulations to everybody.
In the air down the left field line. Gomes over there, and Gomes makes the grab. Nice running catch, Johnny Gomes. 2 down with the bases empty. Time for a money and energy saving bright idea from Georgia Power. Caulk and weather strip around windows and doors. That'll save money and energy. Go to GeorgiaPower.com for more energy saving tips. Georgia Power, a Southern company.
"82 degrees at game time. A little warm for the folks down in the lower bowl of the stadium, but as I've said before, Boog, nobody can fan like people from the South.
Yeah, everybody's got the fans working today.
I mean, you go up north, people don't really know how to do it. They're dropping the fans.
I agree.
They're holding it upside down. They're trying to wave the stick instead of the fan.
Grounded out to short. Rosales diving stab, gets up, throws him out. And the Braves go in order. Nice play by the Reds shortstop. 1-0 game. Day weekend. 4th inning, you know what it means. Time for us to get the athletic trivia question wrong. Who was the last Reds pitcher to win 20 games in a season?
Who was on their staff in 1990 when they won it all?
Tom Browning win 20 games? A little roller to third. Prado charges, bare hands, throw, got him. Good defense all the way around.
Work, Martine. Picking it. Barehanded this time on what was a little bit of a hard grounder. That wasn't an easy, slow roller. Nice play, good stretch by LaRoche.
Hey, stolen hits. Prado has from Roland twice. Well, who are some of our other choices here?
Well, I don't want to go all the way back to Mike Lacoste or anybody like that, but or Gary Nolan from the Big Red Machine era. That's a hard one.
When Don Gullett was their pitching coach, they had some good production reclamation projects. Guys like Pete Harnish and Pete Shurick, who I know were high double-figure winners. I don't think they ever got to 20.
Pete Harnish, that's a good pull right there.
Now an 0-2. Gomes tugging on his helmet there. Inside corner, got him looking, 2 down.
Throws him inside with this one. Couldn't pull the trigger, and right on the corner. Called by Jerry Lane.
So 2 down now, and it's the shortstop Rosales. Made a nice defensive play in the bottom of the third to end the inning as he stole a hit from Martin Prado. He walked his first time, and Hudson misses away, now 2-0. Braves will be off tomorrow. Use it as a travel day to head off to not St. Louis, but rather Houston. Does not start with an S sound. Houston.
We'll see.
Diaz makes the catch.
You have to remember is that the Braves aren't scoring runs in bunches, and I want to show you something here about when this ball was collected by Nate McLeod. Here's Cueto coming to the bag. He kind of tiptoes around the bag to make sure he hits it in stride. Nate's just getting to the ball, ready to pick it up when Cueto rounded third. He had a play if he comes up throwing, if he charges and comes up throwing. And at the very least, if you're competing there to try to cut that runner down to save one, and you throw it so it can be cut off, you haven't lost anything. And in fact, you might draw the other runner around second base where LaRoche can pick him off. That was the point I was trying to make when that run scored. And watching that replay, Nate definitely had a play.
I think there's that subtle thing, too. Even the pitchers who are fast, usually not very good base runners. So there's got to be a little...
They're careful.
Yes.
They're careful rounding third.
Well
remember the other day when Javi Vasquez went around third and had to stop and go back because he missed third. Sometimes when you're not scoring runs, you got to prevent runs. Up top, watch Cueto now when he gets to third. He stops right there and kind of hesitates. He doesn't hesitate, but he stutter steps a little bit to make sure he hit the bag in stride.
That one pushed foul out of play. 1-2 on Garrett Anderson. Anderson, LaRoche, and Diaz here in the fourth. Braves without a hit. Little roller out to short. Rosales. So 1 up, 1 down, bases clear, and here comes the duck. And if I pick Tom Browning, it'll be Jose Rio. If I pick Jose Rio, it'll be Tom Browning.
I'm going with your between innings amazing pull on Jose Rio.
Okay,
like
let's do it.
Never in a million years.
Here's one of the things that I'll say about that question.
I would have come up with Santo Alcala before I came up with Danny Jackson.
I'm going to ask Gretchen Caney, who is the wizard.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a female of wizard? Wizardress?
Sorceress.
Sorceress? Base hit past Votto. First knock of the day for Adam LaRoche. So a man aboard with 1 out, and Adam barreled that ball up. So anyway, the Sorceress, I'm pretty sure at some point in the last 2 years we've had that question before.
You think?
Yeah.
Really?
Last year, she's telling me.
Oh.
It's really good. Short-term memories, really.
Well, I was just going to say that she just is rubbing it in now that not only can we not get it, we can't get it when she gives it to us 2 or 3 times.
Probably give us that question again on Tuesday at Minute Maid Park.
Mm-hmm. I would.
It's a really unbelievable drought we're in right now.
They're doing a good job, or trying to do a good job. Matt has a couple of hits in this series, but they've done a good job of trying to keep the ball in on him. Down and in especially, where he's got to golf some stuff. And when you're throwing hard like Cueto is, that's a hard pitch to handle.
Went in there.
93 and tied him up.
Down on strikes, so Diaz 0 for 2, and there's 2 away. Cueto has struck out 5.
Struck out 5 in 5 innings against the Pirates in his last start. But again, there's another one of those pitches, Boog, where he bumped it up a little bit, went to 95 and raised it above his hands, and Diaz couldn't play off it.
Brooks fly to center his first time. Actually lined to center, slicing line drive that Stubbs got a good jump on, and moving to his right, he was able to make the play.
Told you about that stretch of games leading up to July 1st that Cueto was 8-4. One of the starts was against Atlanta. I beg your pardon, was not against Atlanta. His only start against them came last year. My mistake. But he did beat them 6-2 and gave up only 2 runs in that start. And he is sharp today.
Very off speed. Conrad out in front. Braves now with 11 hits in their last 22 innings. To join us on Sports Out Tuesday night, the Braves go up against the Astros. Coverage starts 7:30 with Braves Live. The Braves on Sports Out. This is our team. Tim Hudson back to work. And the first one to Corky Miller is in there for a strike.
Braves will see Felipe Paulino, Wandy Rodriguez, and Roy Oswalt in that series at Houston.
I read something. Roy Oswalt got injured in his start last night. Double check on that. Ross gets rid of the mask, and David makes the play. Here's our Airtran road schedule. Vasquez, Hansen, and Lowe going up against the gentleman you just mentioned.
Wandy Rodriguez has had a great year. He's 13-9. Oswalt, if he's able to pitch, 8-5. Brad Lidge blew another one last night. The Astros rallied for 2 in the 9th and beat the Phillies.
Up the middle, Infante. Fielding, spinning, and throwing, and steals a hit from Cueto.
Tell you what, those guys on the left side of the diamond are doing their part. Cueto was bidding for a second hit up the middle. He only has 4 hits all year until today, and he picked up 1. Give him 5, but Infante and Prado have been awesome today. Waiting for Cueto to get back to the dugout, and it's going to be a little longer.
Always slant.
See if Stubbs takes one for him here.
He does. He left with tightness in his lower back, did Roy Oswalt. That was with 1 out in the 7th. Towards third, Prado. And a 1-2-3 inning for Tim Hudson, who has pitched well here this afternoon. He's gotten 8 in a row, with the Braves trailing 1-0. Plays all over the place. Out with that broken hand, Joe. Hasn't quite been the same at the plate since.
No, but there have been some signs of some swings where his left hand hasn't bothered him at all. But sometimes that strength is slow to come back.
played very good defense today, and his first at bat hit one very hard, but right at Brandon Phillips. So a line out to second. He's 0 for 1. Corners even with the bases. Shortens the bunt. I'm not going to put Omar in Biggio's class, but when you ask third baseman the types of guys that give them the most trouble at third, bouncer towards third, roll in there, edge of the grass, makes the play, and there's one down. It's not the Juan Pierres, and it's not the Albert Pujols. Juan Pierre, you know, is going to try and bunt. You play in. Albert Pujols is just going to rip, and so you play back. It's guys like Biggio. Infante's got a little bit of that, who might bunt, but then they also might hit a bullet to take your head off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, they might undress you. That's one of those things, too, about when you're a first baseman holding runners on and you're only 90 feet away. And there are some left-handed hitters that aren't necessarily dead pull hitters, but from that distance, all of a sudden, everything becomes a hot shot.
Yeah, when we were in Boston, Marcotte got the start at first base one night, and he was holding somebody on, and he said after the game, you know, I forgot how hard Brian McCann swings.
Well, at first base, you learn to come off the bag after holding the runner on and get into an immediate defensive posture.
Did you play it in college?
Just a couple of games, like my freshman year.
And did you play it in the minors?
No.
So it was really something that they asked you to adjust to at the big league level.
Yes. I didn't find it that difficult because I liked playing there and enjoyed the opportunity to find another position to play that might get you on the field.
3-2 to David Ross. Struck out his first time. Johnny Cueto's thrown 72 pitches, 50 of them in the strike zone. Been real sharp here today. He's got 6 strikeouts on the afternoon, and the fastball has been live.
His career high is 9, I believe. I know his season high is 9. To double check that. Actually, his career high is 10.
David Ross will take the walk. So a man aboard with 1 out. Fans, the Braves are now accepting deposits for new season ticket accounts for 2010. Get the first chance at the best available seat locations by placing your deposit today. To place your deposit, visit Braves.com/deposits or call 404-577-9100.
Season high is 9. He's done it twice, and each time against Pittsburgh.
Tim Hudson showing bunt, takes a breaking ball for strike 1. That one popped in the air. And then the throw hits Ross. Good play by Votto, 2 down.
Brandon Phillips shaking his right leg a little bit. I don't know if he got spiked or stepped on here by. It wouldn't have been. No, Ross just kind of clipped him. Bad toss by Votto and caused Phillips to try to turn and come back. Phillips walking very slowly back to his position.
Well, David Ross got to be a good 235 in that neighborhood. He's a big cat. Laces that one into left. It's a base hit. Only the second hit of the game for Atlanta. And two aboard with two outs in front of Martin Prado.
Braves only have 1 run and 9 hits against the starting pitchers for the Reds in this series. And the Braves have only scored 2 runs in their last 26 2/3 overall.
Prado 0 for 1. And just 3 for his last 17.
And don't forget that when this 4-game losing streak started, the Braves had scored 7 runs on 10 hits that night on the Wes Helms walk-off homer. The offense was in high gear at that point. But since then, not so. 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 run, 6 hits, 1 run, 4 hits. No runs, 2 hits today.
Cueto ahead of Prado 1 and 2. Line drive, slicing to right center, base hit. Ross coming in to score, and McLeod into third as Prado dives into second ahead of the tag.
Martin Prado came to play today, boys. A little inside out on a fastball. Cut down on his swing some. Ties the game up, and he wasn't going to settle for a single. Kept hustling and hit first into second base with a double. Great defense and a key hit.
Braves could take the lead with a single as Anderson takes down and away. Two and 0. Cueto up to 84 pitches. And this inning started with a 1-out walk to Ross. Slider right there. Anderson over the top of it. Little bloop to left. Rosales makes a run and grab. Garrett retired. Braves pick up the equalizer. We'll go to the 6th. John and Joe with you. And folks, fresh off his appearance on the Late Show with David Letterman, batting stance guy joins our baseball coverage. Here's a new feature called Guess the Stance. Check it out, see if you can name the big leaguer. Stay tuned to the post-game show. Braves Live for the answer. Tim Hudson back to work. He's thrown only 68 pitches. McDonald, Votto, and Phillips. McDonald 1 out of 2. He has knocked in their run. This guy, a first-round pick by the Orioles in 1997. We documented he was thought of as a very good football player. Was going to go play both football and baseball at the University of Texas, but signed with the Orioles, including today. He's got 103 big league at-bats.
They probably had to come up with a little coin, too.
Jingle?
Anytime those guys are good football players and about to go play college football, that tends to run the price up a little bit.
There's a strike. The Red Sox have an interesting one. I don't know whether he signed last year or this year. No, it was last year. His name is Casey Kelly. A swing and a miss. Hudson with the strikeout. There's one away. Joe, Casey Kelly was going to go to Tennessee on a scholarship to play quarterback, but instead signed with the Red Sox. Here's the interesting part about it. He really wants to hit. They really want him to pitch, and he has spent this year, the first half of the year, pitching. And then at the halfway point, he's played shortstop.
No kidding.
And they continue to try and figure out which one will it be.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Very talented. Right now, the numbers pitching-wise have been a good bit better than they have offensively.
He might help them make that decision when the offense struggles. Oh, I would say whichever one was the more successful. Obviously, you feel more confident about, but you get to professional baseball and the hitting is so tough. You run into so many good pitchers that it's a constant battle.
Votto swings and misses. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Remember how bad he made Votto look last time. This time they didn't come in with the fastball tailing away. There was a changeup or the split. Looked like the splitter that he had him out on his front foot. One-handed swing. Great pitches from Tim to Votto today.
So now Phillips at the plate. And he's 0 for 2.
We talked about at the beginning of the series some of the experiments going on with Micah Owings too with this ball club with respect to a look ahead to perhaps a few more at bats next year. I wonder if he would consider going to winter ball as a hitter. Work on it.
I wonder if they'll really consider giving him starts, because I remember when Kieschnick was doing it for the Brewers, I don't remember him ever starting. I remember him pinch hitting. I'm guessing he probably did start during that stretch, but I don't remember it.
Good curveball. I'm trying to remember if the Brewers had already made the move to the National League. I think they had.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So the DH didn't play a role there for him.
Little tapper. Hudson gathers it in, throws him out. Tim Hudson has set down 11 in a row. Huddy looking sharp. We're tied up.
Train. Good play by the Braves defense again today. This one on a good throw by David Ross to third base, and an attempted steal by Drew Stubbs back in the third inning. Martin Prado handled the short hop and the tag, as you see. Great defense today so far behind Tim Hudson. That's the Coors Light Freeze Cam, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. And Bark in the Park day again today here at the yard. A lot of pups up in the upper deck in left field on what for them is certainly the most pleasant Bark in the Park day.
Yeah, definitely. Four, 5, 6. LaRoche, Diaz, Conrad against Cueto, who deals down and away. Adam had the Braves' first hit of the afternoon. That was in the fourth. Climb the ladder on him. Cueto's pitched well today.
Yeah, he's been sharp. I like the way he's worked down with respect to his velocity and then go back up when he needs to.
He's thrown enough sliders, and he's kept his fastball down early in the count, and then it's risen up late in the count.
First time in 5 days, Boog, the Braves didn't give up a run in the sixth inning. That's noteworthy.
So they found the sixth inning voodoo doll, and
yeah. Reds have a winning record within their own division. They're 33-29. Outside the division, it's different, and really have struggled against the National League West.
It's funny, going into the season, I don't think a lot of people felt that the National League West would be particularly good. Got him swinging.
Took a little off. Hasn't thrown many changeups today, but that was a good one.
7 strikeouts. Folks, every game counts. Make plans today to cheer on your Braves as they race for the postseason. Be at Turner Field as they take on the Mets and the Phillies. For the best price on tickets, visit Braves.com/tickets and do it today.
Phillies leading Houston 2-1 in the fourth. Giants have taken a 1-0 lead over Milwaukee in the fourth.
How big a problem is the Brad Lidge thing in your mind for the Phillies when they get to the postseason?
I think it's a big problem within the Phillies. I think everybody's concerned about it over there and what they will do to try to correct it. Brett Myers, you said, pitched yesterday?
Scoreless inning.
Yeah, so he's back working out of the pen. I mean, think of the number of games that Lidge has blown this year. Didn't blow any last year. And he up to about 9 now?
At least that many. Diaz down on strikes. Cueto's fanned 8.
10, I'm told, by the truck. Thank you, Gretchen.
He's blowing 10 saves. Wow.
I mean, you cut that in half and think where they would be in the division. Still have a 6.5 game lead over the Marlins. Marlins are winning today 1-0.
It is a case of two extremes, though. I mean, I think last year the fact that he was perfect, a little bit fluky. I mean, I still think he did his best work when he was in Houston. I think that's when he was his most dominant, when he was throwing 99 with that disappearing slider. I mean, even Rivera blows saves, you know, but
oh yeah,
10 of them is
10's compared to the year before when he didn't blow any is what makes it look even worse.
Right.
Corky Miller with a quick walk out in front of the plate to remind Cueto to get back to his mechanics and basics after 2 wide ones.
And he hit him.
And I mean, splatted him right on the 6. That'll take a little steam out of you. Oh, man. And that was an over adjustment by Cueto on his mechanics after Corky had barked at him a little bit on the pitch before. An overcorrection.
Dusty out to the mound.
He's got Burton ready down there. But he may have been talked out of making a change here.
It is so rare nowadays that you see a manager come to the mound and not bring the hook.
He's over 100 pitches, but just 1 or 2 over 100. And really was in control of this inning. 2 strikeouts swinging and ahead 0-2 on Conrad before hitting him on a 2-2 pitch.
Omar 0 for 2. Wow, bounces that one past Votto. Conrad will take off for second. And now the go-ahead run is in scoring position. That was weird. He just babied it over there.
He sure did. He turned and then just slowed everything down, just decelerated on his arm action. Votto screened a little bit by the runner diving back to the bag, but that was just a horrible throw. Cueto, I think, now tied for the league lead in hit batsman. 13. Got to look that one up.
He's got 2 today. And one of them standing at second, representing the go-ahead run. Infante, the count 1-1. Omar starting at short today in place of the injured Yunel Escobar.
He leads the league now. He passed Dave Bush of Milwaukee.
Nice play, Chris Guccione.
He's gone upstairs. He's gone with the breaking ball. He's mixed up his pitches on his strikeouts lately. What'll he try here?
Off speed. And with that changeup, he has now struck out 9.
Sorry. And it's Tim Hudson. And backing up that first start down in Florida with good work today. Making Joey Votto look a little funny there on that swing. He has fanned 5. And he's only walked 1. And he's in a 1-1 game. He's thrown 81 pitches as he goes to the 7th. 57 strikes, 24 balls among his 81. Just need to get him a couple more runs, and he'll face Roland, Gomes, and Rosales here in the 7th.
Good to see Tim pitching well. And he deals the first pitch strike to Scott Roland.
He has set down the last 11 in a row.
Roland's 0 for 2. He's been robbed of a hit twice by Prado. Talked each of the first 2 nights about Roland and the concussion, but also the shoulder injury. I went and looked it up. May 10th of 05, at home, the collision at first with Hee-Seop Choi. And Roland down on strikes. That collision led to problems, and eventually he had multiple surgeries on that shoulder. And if you take his numbers from the start of his career up to that point and since, he loses about 60 points of slugging and about 25 points of on-base. Average stays the same, but I mean, he'll tell you his ability to drive the ball just not quite the same with that left shoulder.
Yeah, on a freak injury. Just a weird one.
Line drive, caught at second by Conrad. What a grab! Brooks climbed the ladder and made the play and stole one from Gomes.
Johnny Gomes in such disbelief that he almost stumbled and fell going back to the dugout. Great leap by Brooks Conrad. And getting a little help from David Ross, the catcher, helping him jump. Watch Gomes. Oh. Couldn't believe it. It's just a heartbreak for a hitter when you hit one that hard, heading for the gap.
First one to Rosales in there for a strike. I like the fact that the in-game guys played the theme to Superman as he came down with that one.
Mm-hmm. Tim would be the first to tell you he's had some great defense turned behind him by his infielders today to help him have a 13 straight retired piece of work going. LaRoche has been good too over there at first base with some good stretches to help him out.
Now the 1-2. Popped up. Foul ground. Ross. I think David is a little frustrated. He felt like his angle to the play was right around the screen. He probably should have kept going. Easy for me to say, right? But he should have kept going around.
If he could have gotten around quick enough, he'd have had a play, but it wasn't hit very high.
No, the other problem, too, is that they took away one of the chairs, but not both.
Mm-hmm. Because there's only one bat boy.
Yeah. Line caught, and that's the inning. How about Tim Hudson? On his game, 14 in a row set down. Of teams and scouts looking at Tim Hudson right now and looking with interest to figure out, okay, would we want to try and work something out or offer something to the Braves? They want to see how he's coming back. They know the Braves have 6 starters set under contract for next year, essentially, if they were to pick up Tim Hudson's option.
Sure. I just can't imagine that there wouldn't be, I don't know all the details, so I shouldn't be that sure about it, but I would bet that both sides would be willing to talk about an extension that kind of takes away the option price, but adds more years
right
as a trade-off.
34 years old, and he has been so very consistent and effective. Here's Jared Burton. And David Ross gets into one. Left field, way back, out of here. All over Burton's first offering. And the big fella unloads for homer number 7. Braves lead.
Cincinnati Reds saw him do that a lot when he was a member of their ball club with Tim Hudson. That makes him the pitcher of record. And this high fastball that Ross just clocked. It's funny how fast they become cheerleaders, huh?
Absolutely. I love the reaction. I mean, look, they just broke a 1-1 tie, but they do love David Ross in that clubhouse.
No doubt about it. Only the 4th home run allowed by Burton this year. And this is 42nd game.
Kelly Johnson pitch hitting and rips that one into the Braves dugout. Sherwin-Williams pitching change and the right-hander on here.
Didn't take him long to become the pitcher of record for the Reds. The first pitch to Ross.
He went sprinting around those bases, too.
Met David's mom, you and I, last night in the parking lot after the game. Nice lady, and I'm sure she's here. If she's not, she's watching and very proud of her son. Coming into the game, his 6 homers were tied for the most in the majors for any player with 115 or fewer at bats. So now he's got 7.
Well, he's got power. We documented his time with the Reds and the fact that, I mean, over the course of 2 seasons, in less than 500 at bats, he hit 38 home runs. Kelly lines that one into center field.
That's excellent. Not only did Kelly get the tape off his hat in the dugout, but he was able to get up there and snap an 0 for 20. And Dusty Baker's going to make a double switch after Burton gives up hits to the first 2 guys he faces.
I made a mistake, by the way. 38 home runs in 06 and 07 for David Ross in 558 combined at bats. Double switch and a pitching change. David Ross's homer is untied this one. 5 feet 6 inches tall.
Has a screwball, which is a lot more effective to right-handers than left.
And Paul Janisch takes over at shortstop. He'll hit 9. Nate showing bunt. I think Corky Miller may have gotten crossed up. Not sure.
Looked that way, didn't it?
Yeah. Just the way he rose up out of the crouch and then boxed it. That's a strike.
Trying to get an extra run, and that would be nice. Nice luxury also is having speed at first and speed at the plate. Nate was late getting the bat out there that time for the sacrifice.
Kelly Johnson at first, and nobody out. The Braves have taken the lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Center field, Stubbs back. 1 out now, and that'll bring up Martin Prado.
Martin gives Bobby Cox some options here with respect to hitting and running, or having Martin protect Kelly if he tries to steal. Tough to hit and run with a left-handed pitcher, though, because you have to wait and make sure he goes to the plate. You get a late start. Really got to rely on the hitter to put it in play and protect you if that happens. There's the screwball.
Prado an RBI double his last time. To short, Giannis to Phillips for 1, and on to first to dig by Votto. It's a double play. But the damage is done. David Ross goes deep, and the Braves here in the bottom of the 7th own a 2-1 advantage. By AirTran Airways, by Verizon Wireless, and by Geico. Back here at Turner Field, and the Braves have taken a 2-1 lead on the David Ross homer. There's a giant foam finger. Hey, it's a Sherwin-Williams pitching change. And Mike Gonzalez coming in.
Face the bottom part of the order. Miller then the pitcher's spot. I beg your pardon, that's Giannis, who was playing in the pitcher's spot.
Gonzo 79 strikeouts in 64 innings. Top 5 pitchers in the National League in terms of appearances. The Braves have 3 of them. Mike Gonzalez is number 3. This is his 70th. Peter Moylan leads the majors with 76. Eric O'Flaherty has 67. He's in number 5.
Plenty of work for those guys this year, that's for sure.
2-2 on Corky Miller. It'll be Miller, then Giannis, and then Stubbs. All right, souvenir time.
Most stunned person in the ballpark, I think.
Did it just fall into her lap?
I think so.
She looks like she's hyperventilating.
Uh-huh.
Their foul of third. They'll do it again. Corky Miller hanging in there. How about the Marlins, by the way? Top 8. And they're on top of the Nationals 2-0. I'm not a huge believer in things got turned around when we won this game. But so far, since the Wes Helms homer, they played really well.
Well, you can't say enough about how the Braves had them in a good position prior to that, because the Dan Uggla and Hanley Ramirez issue had reared its ugly head that day. So another loss there might have been the end of the season for them in terms of their confidence and attitude. West bailed them out.
Check swing. Did he go? Foul tip held on to by Ross. I think Corky's saying that may have hit the ground. Oh, he fouled that into the ground.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he should still be up there.
First base umpire Tony Randazzo shaking his head no also.
Now, Corky, they got you there. It is rare that on a replay you can see the ball foul tip that clearly.
Yes. But if it hits in the dirt, it's a foul ball, obviously. Catcher's got to catch it cleanly.
So now Giannis. By the way, in that Marlins game, Chris Coghlan 2 more hits. His average is up to .311. Hanley Ramirez has a solo homer, and Anibal Sanchez 6 shutout innings. Shallow left center field. McLeod makes the call. Look out! I don't know where the ball is. I think Garrett may have it. He does. Oh, brother.
I thought I could see Garrett calling him off all the way. Well, at least he can smile about it, and both guys are up on their feet. But you see McLeod waving for it. He wasn't going to take his eyes off the ball, and they just went chest to chest. He's calling it too.
I can't imagine that feels real good.
No.
But one of the good things is that they did not go head to head there.
No, it didn't appear to.
Yeah, they were fortunate there. One of the things we don't talk about all that much, but Garrett Anderson is a big boy, 6'3". He's about 225.
Nate McLeod isn't.
No, I mean not height wise, but he's stocky. I mean he's going to come up on the losing end on that one. But Garrett hung on, and that is always scary. Uh-oh. Left field, well hit, and there it goes. Stubbs with the home run, and we're tied up.
They keep talking about his surprising power since he got called up. He did hit 12 one year for Dayton in A-ball. Fastball right there. Last year he hit 5 at Sarasota, none in AA, 2 in AAA. And I believe he had hit 4 this year in AAA before he was called up. And that was his 5th in the big leagues. Took a lot of the air right out of the stadium. Got awfully quiet.
That means Tim Hudson can't win it.
Right. And it was off Gonzalez that Helms hit that home run to win the game the other night down in Florida. Massett in the Reds pen, Moylan in the Braves. 6th home run allowed by Gonzalez in 65 innings.
And that guy right there hasn't allowed one all season. Set a big league record this year. Peter Moylan now 76 appearances. No pitcher has ever appeared in more games to begin the season and not allowed a homer. Mike Gonzalez, though, gives up the solo blast to Drew Stubbs. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and we're starting over. Fred, Ron, and Jerome will bring you a complete recap of today's game, including Bobby Cox's post-game press conference and locker room sound. It's Braves Live coming up once we're done. Herrera continues on the hill. Strike 1 to Garrett Anderson, who's 0 for 3. And glad to say he's still able to hit. In the air, right field. McDonald back, and he's got it.
It's a homer in Cincinnati, but not to toward the bullpen in Atlanta. It was an off-speed pitch, and Garrett was still a little bit out front on it. Didn't get all of it. Had to reach for it just a little. Difference.
Here's LaRoche. They got the overshift on. Adam, a single sandwich between a couple of strikeouts. Reds led 1-0. Got that run back in the 3rd on an RBI single by Darnell McDonald. Braves tied it on a Prado RBI double in the 5th. Ross homered in the 7th. And Stubbs homered in the 8th. Phillips, nice play from his knees. And throws out Adam, 2 down. Matt Diaz, who is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts.
They're not going to let him face Herrera, apparently. They've had Massett loose in the pen. Dusty Baker's going to go get him.
So a pitching change at Turner Field. 2-2 game here in the 8th.
Outstanding, just 200 A 2.74 ERA, 56 strikeouts in 62 innings.
So with 2 down, it'll be Diaz. Mike Gonzalez giving up a solo homer to Drew Stubbs in the top half of this inning. And we're tied at 2. Diaz at the plate 0 for 3. Matt was hitless in last night's game and hitless here today. Joe, the last time Matt Diaz went hitless in back-to-back starts, July 31st and August 1st.
That says a lot about what he's been doing and how hot he's been. Massett did not face him last night, and it was Nick who gave up a run in the 7th inning on McLouth's RBI single.
That one golf foul, and it's 2-1. Their bullpen, we've talked about it. They've done a good job this year. Pitching overall has struggled, but the bullpen has not. It's been consistent and solid for Dusty Baker. We gave the stat last night that they're the only team in the National League to have not lost a game when leading after 8. And the bullpen ERA ranks 3rd in the NL.
Yeah, it's a good batch, and they've got a good guy to finish, as we've seen already in this series, in Cordero.
Diaz bounces it to short. Janisch throws him out, and that's the inning. Braves go 1-2-3. We go to the 9th, tied at 2. Thanks for spending part of your Labor Day weekend with us. Sherwin-Williams pitching change, and the closer is in, Rafael Soriano.
Got some work last night. Had a perfect 1-2-3 inning. No strikeouts. A couple of grounders and a fly out. And not a safe situation here, but a chance to hold the Reds right where they are and give a chance to the Braves to win it in the bottom of the 9th.
Tough part of the order, 3, 4, 5. Votto, Phillips, Rowland. Votto at the plate, and a fastball misses wide.
Had a good turnout for this weekend. 24,000 plus on Friday, 29,000 plus yesterday, and 32,397 today. Bark in the Park Day and Fiesta Day, and a concert after the game.
Yeah, Matthew West will be playing. Soriano ahead of Votto, 1-2. Blew that one past him.
Joey Votto is just 2 for his last 26, Boog, but one of those was that blast last night that helped the Reds win.
It's a shame Tim Hudson doesn't get the win. He went 7 innings, gave up a run on 4 hits, and Hudson retired the last 14 men he faced in a row. Bunted out in front of the plate. Ross picks it up and throws him out.
Can't say enough about the 5 guys on the infield today and what they've done. the four infielders, and then David Ross showing off his arm and hustle here, getting the guy at first base, also throwing out Stubbs, trying to steal. This great work today by the interior.
And now Roland, who's 0 for 3. Braves playing without Yunel Escobar, out with that sprained ankle, without Chipper Jones. Chipper saying before the game that his oblique and his back bothering him a little bit.
He and McCann are both available, though. Hopefully Escobar will be ready to go in Houston.
One and two. Shallow center. McLeod coming in. Soriano gets him 1-2-3. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Conrad, Infante, Ross scheduled. Beautiful afternoon at Turner Field, and good pitching on both sides. Reds have gotten very good pitching in this series. Braves, tremendous performance today by Tim Hudson. Tim with 7 innings and gave up just 1 run. Brooks Conrad to start it off. 0 for 2, hit by a pitch his last time up. Bassett delivers. Way high. Outside, and the count 2-0.
Just need one. Get him on, get him over, get him in. And go home with a W.
Conrad in the air towards the corner. And the grab made by McDonald. Just missed it. Wow. He's hit some balls very well.
He sure has. I thought he got this one. Went out around one that was a little bit outside. Look at Corky Miller. He wasn't sure. He's still in his crouch. And McDonald went as far as he could go to hold that one in.
So Conrad just getting under that one. And with one away, it's Omar Infante. 2-2, bottom 9.
Little breeze blowing in from right field may have held that up. Boog.
Out to short, and Yanish. Two down here in the bottom of the ninth.
Ross was able to ambush one off of Burton earlier on the first pitch. I don't know if they'll be quite as accommodating on this pitch on the first one.
He was taking all the way.
Corky Miller still in this game professionally because of his defensive abilities. And watch when he's giving the signal, or giving the target rather, what a good target he gives for the pitchers, much like he did for the Braves last year. Just sets up, puts the glove up there early, and gives them something to shoot for.
Ross dribbles one to third. Roland was back, throws to first. In time, nice play. Roland fielding that roller, and the Braves go in order. We go to the 10th. New game. We're going to the 10th. Little extra innings for you. Our Sherwin-Williams pitching change, and that means Peter Moylan into this one. His big league leading 77th appearance.
Braves are 8-4 in extra innings. The Reds are 7-7. Who's going to be the hero today, Boog? Got a feel? You have a sense?
I don't yet. I'm going to get back to you in about an hour.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you got?
Feeling heavy stardom over here on my right side of my body. At the first base side.
You got a player?
Yeah, I do. I got a Garrett Anderson feel.
Oh. Well, here's Johnny Gomes. Gomes, Rosales, and Miller scheduled. Kevin Barker has a bat. He's moved into the on-deck circle, and I beg your pardon, that's the pitcher spot. Rosales was. Moylan sets. The 0-1. Peters had a very solid year, first year back from Tommy John surgery. And he's been dependable. He got off to a tough start, but as the year wore on, he got better. Big swing and a miss. Gomes doesn't get cheated.
No, sir. His career high 21 homers with Tampa Bay back in 2005.
Gomes down on strikes as Moylan paints the edge. One up and one down.
Now it came back a little bit of a sidearm fastball that he two-seamer that he cut back over the outside corner.
Kevin Barker now to pinch hit. Joe, it looks to me like Peter Moylan's rally head has gone by the wayside, and he has shaved off the rest of the lettuce there.
Yes, it would appear that way, and not a bad idea since this 4-game losing streak started just about the same time.
The 1-1. Two and one to Barker. He's got some pop. They play him the other way in the outfield. When Peters had a tough time, walks usually part of the issue. Bouncer to the right side. Conrad. Two up and two down. And with two down, it's Corky Miller, who's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. A 2-2 game, each side with 2 runs on 5 hits. Reds won each of the first 2 games by the score of 3-1. The Braves' offense in this series has been really quiet.
Four runs on a total of 15 hits in 3 games. Pinch hitter due up in the bottom of the 10th for Atlanta. Might see Chipper or McCann in one of those spots.
Now the 1-1. Just missed. 2-2. Braves, after this one, will have an off day tomorrow and will travel to Houston to begin a 6-game road trip. Stops in Houston and St. Louis. Hit hard on a bounce. Oh, Martin Prado flags it down, fires across, and the Braves continue to play outstanding defense here this afternoon. One more look. Hot shot. Oh, glove save and a beauty. Woo. If not for outstanding Braves defense here this afternoon, especially on the left side of the infield, Infante and Prado putting on a show.
It's been just fun to watch all day long. Like anything you can do, I can do better. This Rob's rolling of an infield hit. Nice leaping grab here by Conrad. Rob Gomes earlier. Collision in left, but Garrett Anderson holds on for the out. And how about that last one there on that rocket one-hopper hit by Corky Miller?
So a tip of the cap to the Braves defense. Sherwin-Williams pitching change. And the big guy Micah Owings on.
Out of Gainesville, Georgia. Went to Georgia Tech for 3 years. Made 19 starts and then went on the disabled list. Had a tight right shoulder, and he's been in the bullpen his last 3 outings. And picked up his first major league save in his last outing on Tuesday against the Pirates. Went 3 innings, gave up 1 run.
Brian McCann stands in, gets a nice hand. Something off speed, and strike 1 to Mack. Good hack, gets nothing in 2.
Took 10 innings to let Jerry Lane know that he was working today. Right in the face. That stunned him. Corky Miller giving him a chance to regroup.
Brian McCann in his career 1 out of 6 against Micah Owings. One hopper that Phillips is able to gather in and throw McCann out. One down.
Guys with good numbers against Owings include Brian Church, 3 for 7 with a homer. Escobar, who's not available, 4 for 11. Chipper's 4 for 8 with a homer. Nate McLeod 4 for 10.
Nate 1 out of 3 today. A walk, a fly out, a single, and a fly out. On the infield, Owings making the call, gives way to Votto. Two, bottom 10. And with 2 down to the bases clear, it'll be Prado. Braves got the go-ahead run in the 7th on a Ross homer. Kelly Johnson followed immediately with a single, but Atlanta couldn't do anything with it as McLeod flied out. Prado hit into an inning-ending double play. And Martin 1 out of 3 with an RBI double on the afternoon.
Little free baseball here on Labor Day Eve.
Center field, long run. Stubbs coming on, sliding grab, and he made the catch. Nice play, Drew Stubbs. Atlanta goes 1-2-3. We go to the 11th. Bark in the park, number 3 today. Hasn't been too much barking offensively today.
No. Been a lot of retrieving, though, by the defense.
Indeed. And now everybody just enjoying a little Billy Ocean. What's your favorite Billy Ocean song?
Get out of my
dreams,
get
into
my car.
Me too. Here's Sherwin-Williams pitching change. Kenshin Kawakami on for the 27th time.
Kenshin's first relief appearance was 2 nights ago here, and he had a good 9th inning. 3 up, 3 down, including a strikeout.
Giannis, Stubbs, and McDonald scheduled. 2 runs, 5 hits, an error for the Reds. 2-5-0 for the Braves. Yeah, there's strike 1. Kawakami comes in a 3.95 ERA. Just a good, solid season from him.
Very good.
Fewer hits than innings pitched. Breaking ball hit in the air, softly center field.
Took him a while to acclimate, which is no big surprise. April was not a good month for him. But since then, he's been very solid.
So 1 down. Here's the guy that tied it up with a solo homer in the 8th. That was with 2 outs off of Mike Gonzalez. Drew Stubbs, one of the Reds' top prospects. First round pick out of the University of Texas.
Not just an All-American, but an academic All-American.
Laced to right. Diaz misread it over his head. And Stubbs can really run around second, on his way to third, and he's got a triple. I don't know whether Matt would have had it or not, but he froze that extra second, and then it was too late.
Yeah, he misread it. I wasn't sure that he saw it. A little bit of an inside-out swing, but you can see he came in. He actually came in a step real late on that. That's why I thought he didn't see it. And then no chance at all. And I mean to tell you, Drew Stubbs has got some strides.
Yeah, the infield comes in for Darnell McDonald, who's 1 out of 4. He's got an RBI single. That was back in the 3rd. Prado, Infante, Conrad, LaRoche right on the cut of the grass. Center field. McLeod coming in some more. And Stubbs going to try it. Throw to the plate. Out at the dish. Nate McLeod guns him down at home. And we stay tied at 2. 2-2.
If he'd done that earlier today, we might not be here.
Stubbs. And keep us tied at 2-2. Anderson to lead off the bottom of the 11th against Micah Owens. Garrett 0 for 4.
Good throw by Nate. He got in a good position to throw.
Anderson quickly in an 0-2 hole. Fastball fouled off. Say cheese with your new baseball.
Yeah.
Oh, nice play. Phillips from his knees throws him out. Good defense both ways here today. Speaking of good defense.
Yeah. How about this play? One of the things to watch here is how Nate timed it so that his momentum was coming to home plate before he cut the throw loose. And on target. Nice job by Ross there. The ball was a little bit into foul territory, but he was able to be close enough to home plate to catch Stubbs before his foot got to home plate. It's great defense, you're right, Boog, on both sides today, especially by the Braves.
Adam with some success against this guy. And Chipper's got a bat. Look out.
I was asking Terry Pendleton about Adam LaRoche a couple of days ago in the batting cage. I said, you know, this guy's got such an easy swing. He stands so upright. Where does his power come from? And he said his entire backside. And he's not talking about his backside. He's talking about his left side of his body and how it drives through the ball. His hips open, but the left hip, the left shoulder, everything finishes.
He starts open, kind of closes himself off a little bit, and then really rotates. And LaRoche will take his base. The winning run is on base. Reed Gorecki is going to run for LaRoche. Matt Diaz 0 for 4 today. Gets a piece.
Got a slider. Tried to go through that hole on the right side.
A little high. Each side with 2 runs. The Reds have out hit the Braves today 6-5.
Gorecki has good enough speed to score on a double. See if Matty can find a gap. Slider, then a fastball in this sequence to Diaz. Might see another slider, and if the Braves put on a hit and run, it'd be ideal.
Good eye, now 2-1. Braves got a great performance today from Tim Hudson. 7 innings, gave up a run on 4 hits, and he was really sharp. Got the last 14 he faced in a row.
Shame he didn't get the win. Corky Miller has a good arm. Quick behind the plate, getting rid of it. Owings is not real fast to the plate, but he's not real deliberate either. For a big guy, he has a short stride and gets rid of it.
Two and 2 on Diaz, 1 out, man at first, and we're tied at 2 in the 11th.
Only 2 0 for 5s for Matt Diaz all year. He's 0 for 4 today.
Well, here we go. Conrad waiting to hit next. See if Matt gets something to hit.
1 out, but I would expect Gorecki to be running. So do the Reds. And if you're the catcher, you're tempted to call something to the outer part of the plate to give you a chance for a strike him out, throw him out, double play. That looked like a changeup call, though.
Gorecki goes. Diaz gets a piece and pushes it out of play.
And it was a changeup.
That's been the Braves' hottest hitter over the course of the last 6 weeks. Gorecki at first. He's going. And Diaz again fouls it off.
One of the things and one of the reasons they put Owings on the disabled list was a drop in velocity. Not that he was real overpowering, but he went from the low 90s to the high 80s, and that's about where he is today.
They got him in the Adam Dunn trade. Another 3-2 to Diaz. And Gorecki. Reed had 14 stolen bases this year at AAA. And we've seen him out there in center field. He covers ground and runs well.
He's gotten a good jump, too, the last 2 foul balls that Diaz has hit.
He's going again. And that's ball 4. So with 1 out, 2 aboard, and a chance for Brooks Conrad to be the hero.
That's 60 walks now for Owings in 113 innings.
That's a ton.
It's a ton.
And especially so for a guy who was not overpowered.
Right. Well, Brooks Conrad is really due a game winner because of the way he's hit the ball today.
He lays off the changeup. Conrad today making his 8th start. Playing second base. Gorecki the winning run at second. Diaz out there at first. Way up and away.
Reds outfielders can't afford to play deep now. They've got to play their normal depth in the event of a base hit to try to cut off the go-ahead run, the winning run.
As a hitter, you got to be a little scared here. He's been outside the zone. I would just be concerned that he throws you a 2-0 changeup and you roll over. He didn't. He gave him the fastball and he fouled it off.
Had a good cut at it. Just got jammed a little bit. Well, we've seen Brooks throw the big end of the bat. He can put the barrel of the bat on the ball.
Owings ready. And the 2-1 foul back our way.
Owings took a quick peek up there at the speed of the pitch sign here at Turner Field to see how hard that pitch was. Last 2 at 88. Now does he go back to the changeup?
Here's the pitch. Too high.
Kind of an adage among pitchers and pitching coaches that if he's not catching up to your fastball, you don't slow it down and speed his bat up by throwing him a slider or changeup. So they stuck with that. The fastball was too far out of the zone.
Infante would be next. And it's popped up on the infield. Giannis makes the play, and they're 2 down.
High fastball and just couldn't quite get on top of it. And Brooks pops into the infield fly rule.
Probably would have been ball 4, but just too borderline to take.
Yep. And again, you see those pitches so well. Hard to lay off. Chance for Omar to be the hero. He had a game winner here against the Phillies. A homestand to go.
Slider clips the corner.
1 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout in his career against Owings.
Talked about how good a job he's done with men in scoring position the last 2+ years. And quickly he's in an 0-2 hole. Gurecki at second. He's the winning run. Yeah, Owings steps off for a moment.
As a hitter here, you've got to guard the plate, almost give up the inside third of the plate just to try to fight something off if you have to. Good swing. Fouled off that slider.
That one fouled back. John Schuerholz was ready to make the play.
He's got good hands. Shadow creeping out toward home plate too. Let's see what Corky had in mind when he went out to talk to Owings here about how they wanted to set him up.
2 on, 2 outs. Bottom of the 11, tied at 2. Got him swinging. Owings pitches himself into, then out of trouble, and we're going to the 12th. In a 2-2 game. A couple of changes for Bobby Cox. Reed Gurecki stays in the game in left field. And the new first baseman is Greg Norton. Votto, Phillips, and Rowland scheduled against Kenshin Kawakami. And the pitch. Strike one to Votto, who's 0 for 4 today, and he has struck out each of his last 3 at bats.
Joey Votto's got good numbers, Boog. I mean, obviously hitting 300, that catches your eye, 21 homers, but he's also got a .395 on base percentage.
Yeah, he'll take some walks. He does a good job of not making outs, and he's got that pop. I mean, this is a guy you see as your first baseman for years to come. If you're the Reds. Ball 4. There's one of those walks. Joey Votto last year, from August 16th through the end of the season, hit .343. The on base was .430, and he slugged .665.
Well, he almost won Rookie of the Year. Came close. Giovanni Soto got it, I think, because of the market Soto played in. Haven't heard much of Soto this year.
No, he's had a tough year. And he's really been splitting time with Coy Hill.
Dusty Baker has his hottest hitter up there, Brandon Phillips. He's not going to take the bat out of his hands and bunt. He wants him to try to find a gap somewhere too. 0 for 4, as you see.
He doesn't get cheated.
No, sir.
Phillips, a Gold Glove Award winner last year. Native of Stone Mountain. He's actually going to go play football and baseball at Georgia.
Sister, a terrific basketball player, Portia. That's college ball.
Safe at first, close play.
Norton at first base. Oh, that was close. Greg was making sure that he caught the ball because it was a low throw. And had kind of do a 180 to get the tag there. I remember the night Phillips was in this ballpark right down by the visiting dugout when the Expos were in town. They had just drafted him, and he had either just signed or was just about to sign down there in the stands with his family.
In the air, center field. That's well hit. McLeod back some more, and he's got it. Votto scrambles back to first, and there's one down. Off the bat, that sounded like it was going to get out.
Sounded good enough, didn't it? Hit it to the wrong part of the park. He thought he got enough. 398 feet in that direction is not enough. It was scary, but not enough.
Rolling at the plate. This has got to be a tough spot for the hitters. Kawakami's in the sun, the plate's in the shade. Or not. Line drive to left field and a base hit. And there's Votto going to try for third, and he'll make it. Heads up play, good aggressive base running from Joey Votto.
You got to assume everybody's going to go first to third on you. You have to assume that. That's why you charge the ball. That's why you get rid of it quickly. Votto got to second and never really hesitated. There wasn't any deke involved. And Gurecki, when he fielded that ball, was a little flat-footed, Boog.
Well, now they're at the corners. And it's Johnny Gomes. I beg your pardon, it's Valentine.
Take a look at when Gurecki got here. Fielded it, looked up, and then cut it loose. And that's what what Votto took advantage of.
Valentine came on defensively in the bottom of the 11th. He's out there in right field. McDonald shifted to left. So they're at the corners with one out. Good stop, David Ross.
Nice luxury here for Dusty Baker is Micah Owings, who's worked 2 good innings, pitched out of that jam in the 11th. He can leave him in there because he's got starter endurance and he can swing the bat.
2-2.
Personally, Boog, that shadow doesn't come to be a problem until it moves out there a little bit closer to the mound, where once it leaves the pitcher's hand, then it travels all the way in the shadow. That makes it a little harder to see.
So a little later.
Yeah. You can track the ball right now out of his hand virtually all the way to the plate. By the time it gets to the shadow, you've made up your mind if you're going to swing or not, or if it's a pitch you can hit or not.
Ross and Kawakami having a little trouble getting together, so David gets out there for the in-person visit. Curve is inside. Well, now it's 3-2.
Middle infielders just came in too. Now Conrad backing up just a step or two, but they're in.
So here we go with the payoff pitch. Just got a piece on a pitch that was bending out of the zone.
A lot going on here. Roland running. Threw him a breaking ball. Infield in. Braves already have thrown out one runner at the plate. That was last inning on the good throw by McLeod.
Payoff pitch is pushed foul into the seats.
Valentin had a good game here the first night. Triple and a double in 4 trips. Took an 0-for-4 collar last night.
So 3-2 with 1 out. They're at the corners, a 2-2 game in the 12th. Up and in, ball 4 as Roland was on the go, and they'll be loaded for Micah Owings.
Owings hitting .245. 13 for 53, 3 doubles, a triple, 3 homers, 9 RBIs. And it seems like a lot of that damage comes against Atlanta. 5 games, 3 homers.
You'd almost say this is the guy they want at the plate.
Yeah. I mean, if you were going to pinch hit, your choices are Tatum or Drew Sutton. Those are your extra men you have left on the bench. I'll take Owings, with all due respect.
Oh, he hit him in the head. Oh, let's hope he is okay. Trainer coming out. That is scary. I mean, he went down. Kawakami was obviously trying to pitch him up and in.
Both of the trainers are out there. I mean, that had him, Boog, before he even was trying to go down.
Oh, man.
Really scary.
I mean, just dazed right now.
He said he was all right, but
no way, right?
I mean, that was so solid, and it knocked his helmet off of him. I don't know if it got the ear flat. I mean, they're looking kind of at his jaw and his ear. He's a Georgia boy from Gainesville.
Well, let's hope he's okay. Does he have a welt under his eye?
Looked like it.
Gave the thumbs up, and that's good to see.
Yeah, he does. Good mouse there. See where it got him. Right in the ear hole. I mean, right in the ear hole. Stepped right into it and couldn't get out of the way. That's as solid and as scary as I've seen, and don't really want to see another one.
Well, the guy standing at third knows what it's all about, as you see Arroyo. Scott Rowland, August 2nd, got hit by Jason Marquis. And this one blasted to center field. Miller, a sacrifice fly as Rowland scores, and it's now 4-2.
Nice job. Man,
I don't think the shadow had anything to do with that, Boog. It might have. Again, I was just talking about how, at least at the point of that pitch, at that particular time, the shadow was not as far out as it is now.
That one hit out to short, knocked down, and Fonte goes to Conrad, and that's the inning. Scary stuff here at Turner Field. The Reds have a 2-run lead. That'll be tough for Kenshin Kawakami, the guy at the other end of that beaning, and
no doubt. He stood there nearby, right by the cut of the grass in front of home plate, and waited to see as the trainers were tending to him.
They bring in the closer, Francisco Cordero, our Sherwin-Williams pitching change.
Cordero going for his third save in this series.
So it'll be Ross, then it looks like Ryan Church, and then Nate McLeod. David Ross will walk in a homer today. Takes ball one. David a little late there. Giants and Brewers tied at 1 in the 10th. The Rockies leading the Diamondbacks 7-1 in the 5th. And the Nationals rallied for 2 in the 8th, 3 in the 9th. as they got a home run with Ryan Zimmerman to win it 5-4 over the Marlins. That is a backbreaker for the Marlins.
Yeah, they were on a roll. They'd won 4 in a row. .94 on that last pitch from Cordero. He's been very good the last 2 nights.
Got him swinging. 1 up and 1 down. Joe, one other note on the scoreboard. The Blue Jays beat up on the Yankees 14-8, but in that game, rookie Randy Ruiz was hit in the face by a pitch. So, and that's scary. He was hit by Josh Towers. Wow.
Well, it's an instance today where when teams get into so-called bad blood and guys get knocked down, you can understand why hitters get upset if anything comes up around their head. You get plunked in the ribs, you get plunked in the legs, okay, that happens, but not at the helmet.
Church down on strikes, and there's 2 away.
That's a swing like can't see the ball in the shadow.
For sure.
Can't pick it up.
I had a long talk with Ryan Church today about the new helmet, and he echoed Scott Rowland's thought. Just too bulky, too cumbersome. He told me, I didn't know this, that David Wright had stopped wearing the helmet. The bottom line, though, is that players are not going to go to it unless it is comfortable, unless they feel good about it. So I don't know about to you, but then that means it's incumbent on Rawlings to come up with a helmet that they'll wear that is more protective.
Rawlings or ABC or whoever it is that makes the other helmets. Yeah. Guys, had 2 or 3 guys tell me that it didn't fit right.
Yeah. And Ryan Church said he was getting a headache from wearing it a little bit. So there's something that needs to be done. You know, we talked about NFL helmets. NFL helmets have gotten, continuously more protective, but
and a lot of those have some air pockets in them.
Yep.
I don't know if you could turn it into a pump system to make it fit your head properly, but it's something to think about.
But my guess is it's something that'll evolve, because you went from no helmets to no flap helmets to single flap helmets. And I'm guessing that we'll see another incarnation of a helmet that most guys are wearing sometime in the next 5 years.
I would think even sooner than that.
Two and two now on McLeod. Got him swinging. That's the ball game. And the Reds come into Turner Field and sweep the Braves. In 12 today, the final 4-2. And the Braves' playoff hopes fading fast.